Hello, everyone. I'm Aarush Sawhney, and this is Investment by Recursive Imports. Today, we're going to cover our project Investment. And in these slides, you're going to find the introduction, the model pre-processing and training, the demo with the home model or the home page, and the try the model, a revamped edition, and the conclusion.
Gray, are you here?
I'm sorry, I did the entire thing while muted. So our project Investment is a natural language processing powered sentiment analysis system, which is used to analyze the general public opinions surrounding a stock that the user inputs. The whole point of this is to allow the remote gathering of information regarding investment options so that the user doesn't have to go looking for all that stuff themselves before deciding what they want to spend their money on in something as volatile as the stock market.
For the model pre-processing, we removed stop words, punctuations, numbers, and tickers. While the pre-processing was mostly smooth, we have to make a few adjustments, such as adjusting the stop words list to remove words like above, under, down, and up, which might convey the sentiment. And there was also some issues removing numbers that were part of tokenized words, but we were able to work through that. And then for training, we used a 124M GP2 model with the AI text gen. We attempted to use something stronger, but we didn't have the space and processing power for that. We trained with the pre-processed data of different tweets related to stocks and the sentiments attached to them. So far, it's run through the tweets 20,000 times. And for our first model, when you would input a tweet, after pre-processing it, we would add a semicolon after it. And when it ran through the model, after the semicolon, it would output the tweet and sentiment that was tied to it.
Now we're gonna demo our website. So this is our home page. You can see a prompt to try a model, which we'll come back to in a little bit. Here's our project specs and features that we put into our website, and then our team. Most of us made a bunch of silly roles because this project was completely collaborative. We all worked on whatever we needed to work on, and no one fit into one exact role. So first we have Aarush as the lead product design, and we have Arjun as the chief couch potato. We have Gul as the brilliant blob. We have me, Abhinav, as the lead slacker. We have Turjo as the professional procrastinator, and Gray as the dawdling debugger. Now we're gonna try our model. So first you can enter a prompt, which I'm gonna get real quick. So it's just a random tweet about a stock. This tweet is classified as positive, so let's see what that it takes like 10 to 15 seconds. And it outputted as positive. Now we can do a negative one. Generate. And it came out as negative. So back to the presentation.
So our revamped edition was basically live data instead of a data set. We used SN scrape to live scrape data from Twitter. And we took those tweets and basically put them to the model so the model could analyze the sentiment of those tweets. Then using Plotly, we had the model output a graph. It was a line graph that shows two lines of a specific ticker And the blue line represents the positive sentiment of the tweet, and the red line represents negative sentiment. On the y-axis, you can see number of tweets, and the x-axis represents time. Normally, the time is split up into hour sentiments. So we can see different graphs, and this graph is done on our CoCalc server. This is not on the website. So you can see this one is for Netflix, and then clicking through, this is Apple's. These are all from June 21st, 2022. They're not exactly live, but it was live at the moment when we did it. And then again, Google, you can see Google's sentiment graph is very volatile. People have lots of opinions about the stock. And then again, and this is one that worked. So our model, when we first tried to integrate it with the website, it didn't work perfectly. The problem is we just don't have enough processing power for it, because it requires a lot of, it's taxing on the system. You have to live scrap the tweets, and you have to process them so that, it reduces down to the real core, get rid of stop words, and then has to analyze it, put out the sentiment, understand the negative and positive sentiment ratio, and then turn it into a graph. All of that was really taxing on the program. So we couldn't really work it out on the website. At the moment, it's not working, but here is one graph where it did work. We basically put in the Amazon ticker, and then we click the generate button, and on the left, you can see a graph was created.
So in conclusion, our project went pretty well. We were able to pre-process or clean the data without too many issues. Training the model also went similarly and outputted sentiments that were accurate. Not to mention, after deploying the model and editing our website, we had time to start on the revamped version of Investment. But we did face some small challenges along the way, which were not being able to handle ambiguous tweets that well and not being able to load a chart with values for our revamped version. For our first challenge, we were able to guess some tweets that were ambiguous somewhat correctly. For example, our model outputted positive for a tweet that said, dropped below $30, so you know what I did. Although the dataset labeled it as negative, it could be argued that it would be positive if the person was trying to buy the stock at a low price. For our other challenge, we were able to load a chart with data many times in our notebook. Yet when we tried it in the website, it was inconsistent, outputting either an empty graph or saying that there is a gateway timeout. This was because scraping for the tweets, filtering them, and then giving it to the model was taking far too long. For the next time we get to work on this project, we would try to get our model to output other sentiments for a tweet by training it with a different data set. Also, we would spend more time on the revamped version and get it to output an accurate chart quickly. Thank you for listening.